Hey guys, it's Lew01f, and I am playing a new game. Kind of new, kind of not new. Um, New as in new to Tribit Gaming. Other than that, it's an old game. It's an old favorite of mine. It's one of my favorite JRPG games of the 360 era. You know, I had my favorite Western RPG, which was Mass Effect, the Mass Effect trilogy, which I just finished, and I'll probably continue playing. And I have streams for that. I mean, it wasn't a Let's Play really. Mass Effect 3 is more of a Let's Play, but my favorite JRPG of the 360 PS3 era is this one, more so than Final Fantasy 13. Anyways, let's enjoy the video.
People you remember are with you forever. No use for the past.
There's something weird with the audio. Okay, I think it's better now. I could continue. Really, let's see what I have. I guess I never saved it. It's okay. So I've made it all the way to the end of the game and I never passed it. Literally the end of the game, the final boss, and I never finished it. But yeah, this was my favorite 360 JRPG game by the creator of Final Fantasy, which I do not remember his name. I think it's Miss Walker Studio. Which they created the Dragon whatever RPG game that came out in 360, and then they created this one in an effort to try to get Japanese players to buy the 360, which didn't really pan out. As for me, I thought this was a hard game. Let's do normal captions, always on. Let's do English because I remember playing it in English, not in Japanese. This game was infamous for having long loading screens. Yeah, I'm good. And for the time, it was a very beautiful game. For the time. Buy the game. It's just $22 in the store. Microsoft Store. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go pick it up from storage. Why am I gonna double dip? That scene still looks amazing. Protagonist. I think Kane, something like that, if I remember correctly. The game still looks beautiful. Okay. I think you want to attack the front. Different from Mass Effect, obviously. Turn-based. I think the tank can't hurt me. Okay, let's see. Am I doing one? I need to bring down his PG. Let's defend, because I feel like that one's gonna hurt. I think it did hurt. Let's see, do I have anything? We gotta do more damage on that one. There you go. So I guess you just have to attack. That was a rating. I feel like...
Okay.
Oh, that one hurt.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm gonna have to heal again.
Okay.
I like the concept of the game and the story, but I thought some things were a little bit don't make sense. And you'll see. You'll see right now. I'm learning more about him. I don't want to spoil it. While I do not remember everything, I do remember the main premise. What was the other one? Wow, I didn't pay attention.
Okay.
Let's take another. Since we're able to be oh, 30? 19, okay. Still, if I take an attack from the sword, I'm gonna die.
Okay.
I mean, there's no real difference from defending and not defending. when it smashes you from above. Like if there's all these other soldiers fighting in the background and no one's helping you. They're like, yeah, he got this. Dude, I just destroyed a machine by myself. What are they? What can they do? Or am I? I believe that was a magic summon of some sort. Oh, no, I'm okay. Nothing happened to me, not even scratched. My chest plate protected me with my midriff shirt. Oh, loading is fast compared to originally. Can I save? Not yet. Magic turn them into undead beasts.
Let's take him now. Only the strong survive.
Sounds familiar, right? Okay, is there anything that I could grab here? Like maybe. Could save here. Level 10 and I can already destroy armies. Yes. Yeah, I get the gist of it. Okay, let's see. That was the thing with this game. You get rings, which increase your power, your water attacks, whatever.
Out of my way! Only the strong survive. Let's take it now.
Those used to take forever. Bob messed it up.
Only the strong survive.
You guessed it, classic RPG where they just pop out of nowhere. Walk it? Nah, let's run. Walk it? And let's run. I could tell you what Kaim is, but I'll let you figure it out. This way back in the 360 PS3 era, I was like, they could so release a Final Fantasy VII remake. I mean, this is a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy on the Xbox.
You see anything?
See. Maybe under the... Yeah.
Here, let me
Get out of here, bro.
Hey,
What?
that guy over there. He's still alive.
I've been wanting to play this game for a while, actually.
Hey,
Been too
you!
lazy to go grab it from storage.
What about the others? You alone?
What's your name? Your unit?
Second Lieutenant Kaim Argonar, Commander, 17th Platoon, Armored Magic Troopers.
It's a miracle you made it. Come with me. This way.
Ah, you're working.
Unbelievable. One survivor.
What time you get off, man? Maybe when you get off, we'll play a little bit.
He made it unsafe. Especially in that outfit.
I'll see if Jess wants to do some Monster Hunter later tonight. If you don't get off too late. Angel's Plume is your whatchamacallit, Phoenix Down. Oh yeah, there was a creation system in this game. I forgot about that. I don't know if Jess is watching. If he's watching or hearing, no, it's me. The other person is me. I think Jess is playing Mass Effect 2 right now. Mass Effect 3. I'm amazed they made it out alive. You could take that armored car. Should be leaving really soon. Haha, that sure showed them. We wiped those Kent scum. Oh yeah, they're the Kent. I forgot about that. And that's what happened to those who go up against it. Dude, all of you guys died. I'm hearing orders from HQ to investigate the area, but it's far too dangerous to go anywhere near the meteor strike. Oh, it was meteor. Okay, man. Enjoy. I'm just not sure what I should do. The highlands of the wall have become a field of the dead. Can't you reconsider strategy now? I think I know who did it.
We're pulling out! Let's move!
Please just stay still. It'll hurt even more if you move around. Is the audio good? Game audio and my audio? Nah, it's the three of us or none of us, bro. Unless they put a new monster in, then it's just me. Don't worry, you'll be alright. I'm almost done with the treatment. Ooh! The other main character of the game. Tara Strong. Oh, I mean, I forgot her actual name.
That's Officer Seth Balmore with the 43rd Magic Division. She's like you. She got out in one piece.
Really? You two are walking miracles.
She remembers me for whatever reason. I don't.
Hey,
Voice actress is Tara Strong. Voice of Raven, voice of Batgirl, voice of Harley Quinn in the animated series, voice of Bubbles, voice of the Little Orange animation in Loki, Mrs. what? Mrs. Watch, or whatever her name is. You know, for it being a 360 game, it kind of still holds up. It doesn't look that bad. It probably got a Xbox upgrade. Slight upgrade. It's definitely playable on the Series S and Series X. Again, it's $22. It's a really good RPG. It's hard.
Here's where you get off, Lieutenant.
The Council wishes to hear from a survivor, sir. Sorry, not you, Officer Balmore.
Hey, I'm a survivor too.
The Council has only summoned Lieutenant Argonar. Sit down and shut up.
Ooh, they're dicks.
Well, that's just weird.
This way, Lieutenant.
I was really into Teen Titans back when I was playing this game, and I was really into
Follow me.
Tara Strong, the Raven character. Just anything she came out in, I wanted to play, if she came out on video games or whatnot. One of the reasons I got this game. They're like, walk this way? Nah, do what I want to do. They're not letting me go. I was wondering if Seth was here. Probably also because I'm playing on a 27-inch monitor that it doesn't look that bad. Upscale to 2K. I have a soldier to me, he lost his helmet. Through the cow. Gah. Music reminds me of Final Fantasy VII when you're exploring. No. This armor is ridiculous. The helmets are ridiculous. I'm pretty sure they probably looked at Beatles when they were trying to come up with character designs. Yeah, there is. My dad would see me play this game and he would think it was the most boring game I've had. It's like, why are you playing this boring game? And to be honest with you, I don't know if I actually have the patience to play a game like this anymore. Like to fully play it the way I played it back then. It's not like I was a kid. I was what? So this came out in 2008. I was 22. Yeah. I was 22. I got this game before Modern Warfare 4. So let me see if I remember correctly. Same thing with Mass Effect. Mass Effect and this game, when I played it in my room, I had a 13-inch television, not HD, and I'll be playing off that in my room. And then when the living room was available, I'll be playing on that with the HD television up in the living room. But the majority of the time, I played on my 13-inch television. Same thing with Mass Effect. And one of the things that people don't remember was that the games were made to be played on 1080p resolutions, or like 720i, 1080i resolution. So the text was really hard to read on anything that was 420, or in this case, just your regular television. Remember, I'm from the generation that did not grow up with flat screens. They had the big TVs. So there's just 27, not that much big. Twice the size. Someone in the unit reckons Alonso survived the tragedy. It was two of us. I'm amazing, you idiot. That's why. Oh, is there something here? See, I wouldn't have mine like a straight remake of Final Fantasy VII in this style back in 2008. I wouldn't have. It would have been amazing. This game is really a gem that not a lot of people played. Kind of sucks, 'cause I think that any Final Fantasy fan would really enjoy this game. Now, granted, by the time that this game came out, Final Fantasy had already innovated in its turn-based combat, right? Innovated with Final Fantasy X, or they already put a different system in there, and then you had Final Fantasy 12, which was completely different. So this came out after Final Fantasy 12, around the same time before Final Fantasy 13 came out, and by the time this game came out, they were calling the turn-based style antiquated, because again, you had games like Final Fantasy 12 a lot where it was a little bit more MMORPG-ish in the way you attack.
Right? The soldier that can't die. The 17th Division. That was the front line. They were smack in the middle of the Wool Highlands. No one could have survived that meteor crash. But here you are, without a scratch.
Beg your pardon, Lieutenant, but it's really strange. The few we were able to save were far from the center of impact, and even those men were seriously injured. It's hard to believe that anyone could have survived that inferno.
Then don't believe it.
The Council won't like that attitude. Come on, tell us. How'd you make it?
Should I? I could tell you right now. think this was a game that I was like, I wouldn't want to live forever. Oh, the music. I love this song. I love the music in this game. It's just so sad. So indicative of the actual story. Of the past and the present and the future of the character. And I do not know if I use that word correctly. Oh, Nobu Uematsu. He does Final Fantasy music.
Years ago, a new power manifested itself onto the world. With its discovery came the magic industrial revolution. This power came to be called magic energy. Even now, there are none who can explain why this power, a power that merely lay buried within all living creatures, suddenly flourished as it did. Today, this magic energy permeates every corner of the world. It has changed the way people live, transformed the shape of industry, and has even altered the nature of war.
Is it true the Kents have requested a truce?
Indeed. We heard that enough men were committed to cover the Wall Highlands and that most of the Kent force were eliminated. This war was started by them. It's only right they withdraw.
We've also lost a tremendous number of troops. After suffering such a devastating loss, if the Goatsa were to strike now, there would be no way we could defend our country.
And there are also whispers that Goatsa was pulling strings behind the invasion.
What makes you think that the Goatsa were involved?
We have confirmed that a large amount of military hardware has been moved from Goatsa to Kent. We assume Goatsa plans to use Kent to keep things stirred up and destabilize Ura.
Are you saying that even the meteor crash was a Goatsan plot?
My lord, I have some disturbing information on that subject. We suspect that a situation at Grandstaff may have caused the meteor crash.
Grandstaff? This is not the first time that stories about it reached my ears.
This is not confirmed, but magic energy may have leaked out of Grandstaff, interfered with something in outer space, and precipitated this disaster.
Gongora!
Yes, my lord.
The Grandstaff falls under your jurisdiction. Do you have anything to say?
Nothing for the moment. Where did you get this information? Construction of Grandstaff is going smoothly.
Now that the forces of Ura have suffered such devastating losses, I think we have no other way to protect our land except with the magic energy that Grandstaff will provide. We should hold off on debating the pros and cons of Grandstaff. until we've thoroughly reviewed the world's current situation.
What you say makes sense, but our plan to use magic energy is a double-edged sword. With all sorts of rumors flying around, we might want to halt construction of Grand Staff.
What?
Only temporarily. As soon as it's clear that Grand Staff had nothing to do with the meteor collision, we'll resume construction immediately, Gongora.
I need to find a safe spot. Or is that operational? Not until you reach CD4. Display. Ooh, nice 60 FPS. I need a bruiser ring, which I already have, and a guardian ore. I have. And I need a guardian ore. Skill link, you learn skills from other characters that have specific magic skills. There's 2 kits that have magic abilities that you use. Come out later. Very Final Fantasy. Okay, that belongs to someone. Guess I have to go this direction. No, we don't have time to waste here. Once you get out of the station, please follow straight. Well, I don't have time to walk like a turtle. Turtle's pace. As you can see, it's a completely different game to Mass Effect. Very, very Japanese. There we go. So you left the ring here. You guys see any sparkly things?
Research to be carried out, helping to further the revolution. Critics fear that this new proposal will see large budget cuts for magical research, but the council has denied this, saying they realize the importance of staying ahead of Gotza, whose magical research poses a threat to our nation.
Time's story is a really sad one. Yeah, they freak me out too. They're wearing like dodos on their heads or something. I can't control the character.
Well done. You may leave.
But I just got here. And now you want me to leave?
Lieutenant Kaya Marganar, we thank you for a job well done. I am Roxian, chairman of the Central Council of Ura. Well, Lieutenant, it seems people are calling you the Immortal. We've heard there were almost no survivors from Ura or Kent after the meteor crashed on the Highlands. And yet, you appear to be unharmed, even though you were presumably at the precise point of impact. Tell me, how did you survive?
I'm a god from a different dimension.
My lord, please allow me to explain.
Fine. Speak.
Thank you, my lord. Actually, this man is immortal thanks to my magic energy. He is under a spell of immortality that I conjured.
I wish to know more. This immortality spell, how does it work?
I don't know.
What? Are you saying that you don't know about the spell cast on you?
Don't remember.
I recall nothing.
My lord, this man has lost his memory. However, he is skilled in magic energy. So I have been studying his abilities.
Then what can you tell us, Gongora?
With all due respect, my lord, the spell is a curse. It is said that merely hearing it brings death near. For the safety of everyone, it is better that the spell be kept secret.
Very well. Since I trust your studied opinion, I shall take your word that we should not know the... Lieutenant, since it seems that you cannot be killed, the Council would like to bestow a special mission on you. We want you to go to Grandstaff.
My lord.
Gongora, you cannot keep this hidden any longer. Till now, construction has been left up to you, but we've lost contact with the site.
It's just that...
Gongora! Until we can confirm that Grandstaff project is safe, construction shall be suspended.
Yes, my lord.
So now, Lieutenant Argonar. You know of Grandstaff, under construction in the Sea of Bas?
I've heard that it's a magic staff.
Yes, it is. As you just heard, all communications with the site have been cut off for some time now. Considering the danger from magic energy leaks, we suspect that no one can investigate the possible cause, except someone immortal.
No.
Well, There is someone else.
What did you say?
At the Wall Highlands, another immortal. Her name is Balmor.
Well then, this other one shall accompany you. I shall summon her.
Okay.
Quickly, make the
After
arrangements.
this, I'll just tell you.
Right away, my lord.
My lord, pardon me for saying this, but I'm building Grand Staff for the sake of our nation and its people.
Enough! We
Shut
will
up,
await
bushy
Kai's
brows.
return and report.
Of course, my lord.
You are dismissed, Lieutenant.
Okay. So this is the thing. There's no spell. There's none of that bullshit. There's immortals in this world. Not a lot. It's just it's just 4 of them. 4 immortals. Kime, Beldamore or Seth, which we met earlier. A queen somewhere, she'll join the party later on. And you met him, Gongora. So these are four immortals in the entire game. And you really, I mean, you're under this entire idea that it's a spell or whatever, and you don't learn where they came from until much later in the game. So that's the only reason I'm telling you. Like maybe when you're like 50 or 60% of the game, you start learning their story of where they come, and like reading Kime's, I think they call them tears, but it's like short stories within the game, which is the most interesting part of the game. Imagine near those areas where it's just text. Well, there's places where you can find stories of Kime's past. I think he's lived 10,000 years, either 1,000 or 10,000, one of those two. I might be confusing them, but they are beings from a different dimension, or a different world. Dimension, like a different dimension that somehow got stuck in this dimension, in this reality, in this world, and because of that, they received immortality. I think they, if I remember correctly, they are like some sort of gods in their world, but they're not immortal. In their own dimension. It's just because they got stuck here, and because of the magical, I don't know, something. It's like, again, it's been a long time. But so Kime remembered everything. It's Gongora, the one that did something to him, and I don't remember what. He did something to all of them, where they can't remember because they all know each other. They're all friends, more or less. But through the stories that you read throughout the game, you realize that living for more than 100 years, which is our normal lifespan, I mean, usually 60, 70 if you're a male, it's just so depressing. Regrettably, any of Kime's offspring don't carry the same ability of immortality. They do not have that. So he's had to see his children grow and die over the years, while he stays the same. And it's just sad. But I think that's what really sold me to this game at the time. It was one of those things where, like, oh shit, this is so interesting. You're just not playing as a human. You're already playing as an OP character, more or less. You can't. I mean, you die in the game. If you lose your HP, it's game over. That's why I said earlier on it's a little bit tricky how they play off this immortality thing, because if you lose HP, you die, right? What will be the point of playing an RPG game or a game where you can never die? I guess that's where the immortality thing comes into play, right? Because if you die, you could just continue. You just restart in your last point, and then you're good to go. But it was very interesting. The game itself is, like I said earlier, I think the game is good. It's a good RPG game. Definitely a game that's underrated, and a game that should have been played more. Like I said, it did have its issues, and a lot of those issues were more like Bloodborne, where the loading screens just took forever. And it's not like Mass Effect where they hit the loading screens within the elevator rides. And you had like interesting conversations with your squad. Right here, just go straight out to one of those black screens with magic drawings on it, and you were there like for a minute or 2 or 3. Same thing with the fights. Every time you engaged on a fight, sometimes they were fast or sometimes they took a long time. Obviously I have an Xbox One X now, so that is a lot faster. He's dead. Your husband's dead. Well, I think we all know who the enemy of this game is. They're pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. This game came out in 2008, you guys, so if you guys are having a big deal, making a big fuss about it, that I just ruined the game, come on, man. 2008. I had to go dig it out from my storage room, okay? Just don't give me that bullshit. And you find stories by just exploring. Like he would go somewhere, Kime goes somewhere and he has like a flashback. Like slowly starts learning, like remembering his past. Maybe you could treat me to something. Hey. Yeah, coming from Mass Effect is definitely a lot slower. Give me my guns, give me my biotic abilities. Like my friend said yesterday, Space Wizard. Ooh, this armory. Also, I can't buy anything. A nation solely reliant on magic now. Well, that's something you learn across the journey here.
And now, counselors, I propose that Gongora be removed from Grand Staff Project, with control transferred to this council.
Ooh, you shouldn't do that.
My lord.
In addition, until Lieutenant Argonar completes his investigation, I propose that Gongora be confined to his residence under surveillance. Those who disagree with my proposal, raise your hands now.
It appears I have no choice but to agree.
I see there are no objections. It is decided.
What have you done?
As Kaim slips into deep sleep, his dream unfolds. A dream or his past. At this moment, there is no way he could know.
Oh wait, this is the Unreal Engine. It was one of the first games created with the Unreal Engine. On the 360. That was not a first-person shooter. Or a third-person shooter. Felt real. Because everyone sleeps, because everyone in Japan sleeps with armor on. Not even in Mass Effect, Garrus never takes his armor off when he's in bed with Shepard, my Shepard. Ooh, memory. Dreams, there we go. That's what they call them. It's just... Family members have tears in their eyes when they welcome Kaim back to the inn from his long journey. Thank you so much for coming. He understands the situation immediately. The time for departure is drawing near. Hannah's departure. Too soon, but still, he knows this day would have to come sometime, and not in the distant future. I might never see you again, she said to him with a sad smile when he left on this journey. Her smiling face almost transparent in its witness, so fragile, and therefore undescribably beautiful as she lay in bed. May I see Hannah now? He asks. The innkeeper gives him a tiny nod and says, I don't think she'll know who you are, though. She hasn't opened her eyes since last night, he warns Khan. You can tell from the slight movement of her chest that she's clinging to a frail thread of life, but it could snap at any moment. It's such a shame. I know you made a special point to come here for her. Another tear glides down the wife's cheek. Never mind, it's fine, Kaim says. He has been present at innumerable deaths, and his experience has taught him much. Death takes away the power of speech, first of all, then the ability to see. What remains alive to the very end, however, is the power to hear. Even though a person has lost consciousness, it is by no means unusual for the voice of the family to bring forth smiles or tears. Kaim puts his arm around the woman's shoulder and says, I have lots of travel stories to tell her. I've been looking forward to this my whole time on the road. Instead of smiling, the woman releases another large tear and nods to Kaim. And Hana was so looking forward to hearing your stories. Her sobs almost drown out her words. The innkeeper says, I wish I could urge you to rest up from your troubles before you see her, but... Kaim interrupts his apologies. Of course, I'll see her right away. There's very little time left. Hana, the only daughter of the innkeeper and his wife, will probably breathe her last before the sun comes up. Kaim lowers his pack to the floor and quietly opens the door to Hana's room. Hana was frail from birth. Far from enjoying the opportunity to travel, she rarely left the town or even the neighborhood in which she was born and raised. This child will probably not live to adulthood, the doctor told her parents. To this tiny girl with extraordinary, beautiful, doll-like features, the gods had dealt an all too sad destiny. That they had allowed her to be born only daughter of the keepers of a small inn by the highway was perhaps one small act of atonement for such inequity. Hana was unable to go anywhere, but the guests who stayed in her parents' inn will tell her stories of countries and towns and landscapes and people that she would never know. Whenever new guests arrived at the inn, Hana would ask them, where are you from? Where are you going? Can you tell me a story? She would sit and listen to their stories with sparkling eyes, urging them onto new episodes with, and then. When they left the inn, she would beg them, please come back and tell me lots and lots of stories about faraway countries. She would stand there waving until the person disappeared far down the highway. Give one lonely sigh and go back to bed. Hana is sound asleep. No one else is in the room. Perhaps an indication that she has long since passed the stage when the doctors can do anything for her. Kaim sits down in a chair next to the bed and says with a smile, "Hello, Hana. I'm back." She does not respond. Her little chest, still without the swelling of a grown woman, rises and falls almost imperceptibly. That went far across the ocean this time, he tells her. The ocean on the side where the sun comes up. I took a boat from the harbor way far beyond the mountains you can see from this window. And I was on the sea from the time the moon was perfectly round till it got smaller and smaller, and then bigger and bigger until it was full again. There's nothing but ocean as far as the eye could see. Just the sea and the sky. Can you imagine it, Hana? You've never seen the ocean, but I'm sure people have told you about it. It's like a huge, big, endless puddle. Kane chuckles to himself, and it seems to him that Hana's pale white cheek moves slightly. She can hear him. Even if she cannot speak or see, her ears are still alive. Believing and hoping this to be true, Kaim continues with the story of his travels. He speaks no words of parting. As always with Hana, Kaim smiles with a special gentleness he has never shown to anyone else. And he goes on telling his tales with a bright voice, sometimes even accompanying, oh shit, I can't pronounce that word, his story with exaggerated gestures. Kind of like what I just did right now. Tells her about the blue ocean, tells her about the blue sky. He says nothing about the violent sea battle that stained the ocean red. He never tells her about those things. Hana was still a tiny girl when Kaim first visited the inn. When she asked him, "Where are you from? And you told me some stories?" With her childish pronunciation and innocent smile, Kate felt a soft glow in his chest. At the time, he was returning from a battle. More precisely, he had ended one battle and was on his way to the next. His life consisted of traveling from one battlefield to another. And nothing about that has changed to this day. He has taken the lives of countless enemy troops and witnessed the deaths of countless comrades on the battlefield. Moreover, the only thing separating enemies from comrades is the slightest stroke of fortune. Had the gears of destiny turned in a slightly different way, his enemies would have been comrades and his comrades' enemies. This is the fate of the mercenary. He was spiritually worn down back then and feeling unbearably lonely. As a possessor of eternal life, Kaim had no fear of death, which was Presado! I hit the button! Oh. I guess I could always go back. So, okay guys, I am gonna read it from the YouTube because I feel that I messed up there. Okay. So before I continue, let me read it because I accidentally hit it so fast. He was spiritually worn down back then and feeling unbearably lonely. As a possessor of eternal life, Kaim had no fear of death, which was precisely why each of the soldiers' faces distorted in fear. Actually, let me reread that. As a possessor of eternal life, Kaim had no fear of death, which was precisely why each of the soldiers' faces distorted in fear, and why each face of a man who died in agony was burned permanently into his brain. Ordinarily, he would spend nights on the road drinking, immersing himself in an alcoholic stupor, or pretending to. He was trying to make himself forget the unforgettable. When, however, he saw Hana smile as she begged for stories about his long journey, he felt a far warmer, deeper comfort than he could ever obtain from liquor. He told her many things about a beautiful flower he discovered on the battlefield, about the bewitching beauty of the mist filling the forest the night before the final battle, about the marvelous taste of the spring water in a ravine where he and his men had fled after losing a battle, about a vast, bottomless blue sky he saw after a battle. He never told her anything sad. He kept his mouth shut about a human ugliness and stupidity he witnessed endlessly on the battlefield. He concealed his positions as a mercenary from her, kept silent regarding his reasons for traveling constantly, and spoke only of things that were beautiful and sweet and lovely. He sees now that he told Hana only beautiful stories of the world like this, not so much out of concern of her purity, but for his own sake. Staying in the inn where Hana waited to see him turned out to be one of Kaim's small pleasures in life. Telling her about the memories he brought back from his journeys, he felt some degree of salvation, however slight. 5 years, 10 years. His friendship with the girl continued. Little by little, she sneered adulthood. Which meant that, as the doctors had predicted, each day brought her that much closer to death. And now, Kaim ends the last travel story he will share with her. He can never see her again, and never tell her stories again. Before dawn, when the darkness of night is at its deepest, long pauses enter into Hana's breathing. The frail thread of her life is about to snap as Kaim and her parents watch over her. The tiny light that has lodged in Kaim's breast will be extinguished. His lonely travels will begin again tomorrow. His long travels without end. You'll be leaving on travels on your own soon, Hana? Oh, you'll be leaving on travels of your own soon, Hana, Kaim tells her gently. You'll be leaving for a world that no one knows. A world that has never entered into any of the stories you have heard so far. Finally, you will be able to leave your bed and walk anywhere you want to go. You'll be free. He wants her to know that death is not sorrow, but a joy mixed with tears. It's your turn now. Be sure and tell everyone about the memories of your journey. Your parents will make that same journey someday. And someday, Hana will be able to meet all the guests she has known at the inn, far beyond the sky. I, however, can never go there. Though I can never escape this world. I can never see you again. This is not goodbye. It's just the start of your journey. He speaks his final words to her. We'll meet again. His final lie to her. Hana makes her departure, Her face is transfused with a tranquil smile, as if she had just said, "See you soon." Her eyes will never open again. A single tear glides slowly down her cheek. End. Thousand dreams. So he's lived for 1,000 years, not 10,000 years. So that is one of the best things about this game. Those dreams. They just, some of them are happy. Some of them are just sad. Like that little. Like Hana's departure, I don't remember. I don't remember those. I remember the story. I remember that you have stories, but the only one that I could, I don't remember that one. I remember one where he was working like at a store by a fish, but like by like a harbor or something. And I also remember another one where he was stuck in jail for like 20 years or something. I would sometimes not even play the game. I would just go through the stories, or like every time I saw a new story, like every time there was a new story to see, to read, that's all I would do. Yeah, the game is a bit antiquated by today's standards, but oh fuck, I was gonna save. If anything, if you could find those stories online and just read them. Because the game itself is really long. So it's not one of those things where I'm like, I mean, if you have time and you want to play an old JRPG game with turn-based combat, then this is your game. If you just want to get lost a little bit, if you're tired of the new stuff, definitely not a Persona type of game. Definitely more like a Final Fantasy type of game. Old Final Fantasy.
Sorry. Look out. Sorry, miss.
Jensen, I think is his name. Not an immortal.
Wait, let go! My throat! Damn!
Why are you following me?
You're Kai Marganar! I mean, Lord Gagor asked me to do it! It's the truth. I'm supposed to tell you to go to his manor. He has something important to tell you.
You are?
Jansen.
Oh, I was
Messenger
right.
for Lord Gongora. At your service.
Funny character.
Man, what an attitude. Jeez whiz.
He would be the equivalent of me, if I were in this story. I am gonna save and I'm gonna go eat and probably call it for today's stream. Maybe play a little bit on my own. But I also need to get a Zelda, which I have not really moved on much. But I really wanted to stream this and I really wanted to play it. Actually, I might just keep playing this today. And I'll play Zelda some other time. Again, one of my favorite JRPGs. I still think Mass Effect is better. I think that the story is more intriguing. It's different. Obviously, you're in space. It's more sci-fi. I think the connection you make with the characters is better. Plus, it's a trilogy. So, I mean, in each one of those games, I spent like 50 hours, if not more. I think Mass Effect, I did like 50. Mass Effect 2, I did like 60. And Mass Effect 3 was 40 in total. So do the math. That's already 140 hours that I did on the Mass Effect trilogy alone. So yeah, I'm very into that world and love that game. And I recommend you check out whatever streams or whatever. I have all the episodes for Mass Effect up, and the streams I did for Mass Effect 2, or more so Mass Effect 3, which is almost a complete stream. All the episodes, right? But I am gonna end it here. It's almost 10 hours and 33 minutes. Thanks for watching. Check out the game. Check out videos on YouTube just for the story's sake. In fact, if I don't stream this, I can tell you what's gonna happen. Actually, let me do that just in case I don't stream it anymore. But the kid you saw in the flashback is his daughter. Then later on, you go to another town. Well, I mean, all this time you thought your daughter was dead. Well, at least when you start remembering, like, you thought it was dead, and shortly after that, I think that you get your memory erased on purpose, something like that. But you find your daughter again, and she has kids of her own, and she's dying, and she dies, but she gets to see you and your wife, her mom, and as a gesture of good faith, and not just a gesture, I mean, they have nowhere to go. Her children, you take her children, so your grandchildren, so they accompany you on your adventure, right? Her older daughter and her younger son. And eventually you got an adventure, you meet Seth's son, who is now like 60 years old. And eventually Seth dies. She sacrifices herself. She's the first immortal to die in the game. This is at the end, like towards the end. You have like a king that joins you, the other queen, the queen from another town that's an immortal, and so on. And I never finished the game. So I made it all the way to the end, but never finished it, and I'm not gonna say more. But yeah, Gongora is the bad guy. The adventure itself is pretty cool, going through everything. There's way more to the game than what the summary I said, but watch YouTube videos or whatnot. Anyways, you guys take it easy, like and subscribe.